day was fun.
What happened today?
I went to work for a whole 45 minutes.
Oh, God. Why now?
Yet another person has come down with COVID, and 45 minutes into my day at 8:45, they came by my office and said, go home. We're closing the place down. We're cleaning the place again. This is now the third person who has closed the business down with COVID.
This is why businesses are starting to insist people get vaccinated and wear masks. But your business doesn't do that. People could do whatever they want to at your place, which is why a lot of people are not wearing masks and are not vaccinated. So they're going to lose days of work.
And this is another guy who was very vocal about not wearing a mask, not getting vaccinated, very vocal in meetings about it, calling us all sheep and idiots.
Right.
And not only does he go to one of our branches, but he goes to two. So he spends half the time in one branch, half the time in the other branch. So now we're having to close both branches because of this guy.
No.
Yep.
So he goes around infecting everybody.
Yeah. He not only does it here, he does it there. And he was standing in my office 2 days ago for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, again, and this is the third time now they've come by in masks and said, leave, go home, get out of here.
And have you asked your boss about it? Like, what are you going to do about this? Is there going to be any mask mandate or vaccination mandate?
No, there won't be anything. There won't be anything because I have 3 bosses and 2 of them don't believe in masks. And one does.
Doesn't one of them have cancer?
One of them, the one that has cancer is the one that believes it.
Right.
The other 2, nope, could care less.
I see. Okay.
So,
right. Yeah, it's one of those fish stinks from the head situations. So because your big bosses don't believe in the mask thing and don't believe the vaccination thing, they're allowing their people to do whatever they want to. Well, I mean, how sick is this? You don't know. You don't know how sick the guy is.
They wouldn't even tell me. I had to ask around through text to try to find out who it was.
Right.
You know, but nobody said it was this guy or this girl and you have to leave. They just said, go home. No follow-up email, no follow-up text, no nothing from the bosses.
What happened to the girl that had COVID last week and the week before? She's still out.
Still out. So we have one who's, I guess, very sick and hasn't been back to work yet. And now this new one that came down, I have no idea. I just know his name. I don't know how sick he is. I don't know anything.
Is he young? Is he old? Is he fat? Is he healthy?
No, he's a runner. He's very tall. He kind of reminds me of the PD at our old classic rock station we worked at.
Got it.
So he kind of reminds me of that guy.
Well, look, maybe it won't be so bad for him, mostly because he doesn't sound like he's somebody who's predisposed to all kinds of other stuff. So, maybe he'll get through it and it'll be okay.
Yeah. I don't care if they come through it or not.
Right.
I really don't. I'm to the point now where it's more accounts for me.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it. Right. There's a big opportunity for you.
Right.
You can make a ton of money off these people for the weeks that they're out of the office.
Yeah. Somebody's got to take care of their clients and do their work. I'll be more than happy to do that. If COVID takes them, that's God's way.
Right.
I'm getting to that point now.
What are you doing to protect yourself, though? Like, I don't like the fact that this guy was in your office just the other day, and now he's come down with. Because remember, when you say come down with COVID, it's not just COVID with a small c. It's the Delta variant, because that's what's going around right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
He doesn't have regular COVID.
I mean, do I start wearing a mask at work? Do I wear a mask all day, even though I have my own office? And usually nobody comes into my office.
I don't think you have to wear a mask in your office if you're by yourself. But if somebody walks in protect yourself. If they don't want to wear a mask, that's their prerogative. Make sure they stay at least 6 feet from you, and you wear a mask.
The third person, there's only like 10 people that work there. This
Right.
is the third person now.
That's a big percentage of sick people that you've had. That's why I'm saying, even though you've been vaccinated, you still need to protect yourself, because as we know now with the Delta variant, people that are vaccinated are getting sick. Hopefully you won't, but people are. I'm going through that today in my building. So the building I live in has several doormen, and we have porters, and we have a concierge. Like it's a high end luxury building. There's tons of people that work here. I think last I checked, there were like 25 people who worked here. And, I never really thought about these people in terms of their philosophy of the world. I just assumed they're New Yorkers. All of them have worked here, most of them for 25, 30 years or more. There's a few new people, but for the most part, these people that have been here a long time, I just assume they live in the same world I do, where they've seen people dropping like flies in New York. Remember, we were the epicenter of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm casually having a conversation with the main doorman, the guy who works Monday through Friday. He's the face of the place. He's the front-facing guy. He's just behind a desk. There's no lucite, nothing. And he's wearing the same mask he's been wearing since the very beginning. It's one of those masks with the little plastic thing on the side where they said, don't wear that because
those aren't
germs.
good.
Those aren't effective, and germs come in and out of that. Also, it's the same mask he's been wearing for 18 months, and he wears it only over his mouth, not over his nose.
Yeah.
Right. So I just assumed, I know that he had some kidney problems. I know he had some other health issues, just assumed he was vaccinated. So today I said to him, how do I find out who in the building is not vaccinated? So I asked about the staff, but I asked him as if, you and I are vaccinated. What about these assholes?
Mm-hmm.
And he got really defensive, and he starts, I'm telling you, like, this is really the moment where you learn who people are. I have known this guy. I've lived here since 2013. I've known him the entire time. I've always been super close with him. He starts to tell me all these weird conspiracy theories about the vaccine, about COVID, about the lies we're being told. I'm telling you, you could have, as they say, knocked me over with a feather. That's what my grandma used to say, because I could not believe what I was hearing out of this. And this is a smart guy. I thought he was a smart guy. I had no idea he had these weird conspiracy theories. No idea until this morning. So I was like, wait, so you're not vaccinated? He was like, my doctor said I didn't have to get vaccinated. I said, I don't believe that for a second. There's not a doctor in this city that would say, unless it's a witch doctor. And if that's the case, you need to get an actual doctor. Like, but oh my God, like every conspiracy theory you've heard about COVID, the vaccine, where it's from, what's happening, the truth, he was spewing all that stuff. And I was just, I was almost speechless. You know me, I'm never speechless. So I immediately went back to my apartment and I fired off an email to the president of the board and the president of the management company. I posted it on, we have a Facebook page with the building. I put right on there, our doorman Joe is not vaccinated. You guys need to know that. He is the first person you see. He's the person that we all interact with. He's not vaccinated. Protect yourself. Protect your kids. There's tons of kids in this building. There's old people in this building. So that's the conversation that I've been having all day today too. So you have to worry about the people you work with, which is where you spend all of your day. I have to worry about the people that run my building, where I spend all of my day.
I wanted to go one night on this show and not bring up COVID and not bring up what we have going through. But 45 minutes into my day, I'm thrown into it.
I know. It's frustrating. And what are we supposed to do? I don't know what we're supposed to do. And the thing is, look, I don't think this is not about taking away people's rights. And I think that's what people keep hanging it on. Somebody on Twitter I saw had written, people that don't want to wear masks and don't want to get vaccinated keep saying, my body, my choice. But it's like, no, my body, your choice. Like I'm in jeopardy because of you.
Right. It lives in your nose and comes out of your nose into my nose.
Right, right. So the only answer is you and I both we just got to protect ourselves. You can't worry about other people. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to believe what they're going to believe. And if anything happens to them, if they die, if somebody close to them dies, I keep thinking about that poor 12-year-old girl who went to camp and, 12 years old, too young to get vaccinated.
Mhm.
And she ended up with COVID. Her mom posted all of these videos of her laying in a hospital bed. She couldn't breathe. She had an oxygen mask on. She was like just short of being intubated. Luckily, she ended up being okay because she's 12 and thank God, she's healthy normally. But the mom was like, what mask would you prefer your kid have? Some cute little mask with minions on it or this oxygen mask that my daughter is currently wearing in the ICU?
But in an office of 10, when is it going to hit people that 3 of us are out?
That's your bosses. If your bosses don't care, there's nothing you can do about it. You go work somewhere else. That's your only other option.
And I can't. I mean, it's a good job, and that's the thing I hate. It's a good job,
right? Which is why I'm saying you got to protect yourself. Bring a mask to work. When any of these idiots walk into your office, throw a mask on.
Get out, go.
Yes,
Stand
get out, go
there and talk to me because he came in this week to talk to me, and it was not business oriented. It was, hey, how's your day going? How you do? It was one of those wasting time in my office. I don't need you to do that. I don't want you to waste my time. Get out. And then it comes down.
So he came in and breathed his COVID breath on you just to ask how you were doing and how about them Panthers?
Pretty much. And we didn't even get into a conversation of how them Panthers even. I mean, it was, I'm just, I went here and I did that. Okay, great. Get out. Well,
you're going to say, hey, sorry to stop you. I'm super busy. Can we continue this later?
Yeah.
You got to shut that shit down. You got to shut it down and get him out of there.
I'm just not going to allow anybody to come into my doorway. They have to stand outside the doorway, which is a good 20 feet away. And if you want to talk to me, you can text me, you can email me, or you can yell from the door.
Right. Listen, my solution is, luckily, I live in a building that has a back door as well. So I'm going to be going in and out the back door to avoid being around the staff because they all hang out in the front. And I'm just going to, exit and enter through the back of the building where nobody is. And that's my solution.
Guys are going to have to go through your back door.
That's right. They're going to go through the back door.
If they want to get with you, they have to go through the back door.
If you're coming to my house, just bring some lube and I'm sorry. Just come on in the back door. Where it's
front
safe.
Door is closed now.
The front door is now closed. It closed due to COVID.
But the back door is all yours. Like I said, I wanted to go one day without talking about it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Sorry that we've done. But listen, we're just reflecting. We're a mirror of what's going on in society right now. Maybe where you live, COVID's gone. I remember this was just today. I remember about an hour ago. My memory is so good from an hour ago. There was a German reporter who's reporting from Sturgis, and he's standing there in front of all of these bikers, like thousands of bikes. And he's reporting on German TV and he's like, what's with these Americans? I don't get it. Mm-hmm. They had a surge of 160,000 new cases yesterday alone, and yet they're all coming. 700,000 people to a million are coming here.
Mr. German guy, we say the same exact thing.
I know, but I love the fact that this German reporter was like, instead of saying, yeah, here I am at Sturgis, and yeah, they're going to risk it, and whatever, he was just like, what the hell is wrong with Americans? Why are they doing this? Why are they coming here?
Yeah, I mean, this show is heard in 118 different countries.
Right.
So we're just letting you know we think the same thing in America.
Yeah, all the things that you're thinking about America, all the things you like, stupid Americans, us too. We think the same thing. We're with you. We're like, wait, what?
But we live it every day. I left work. I went to a store, walked into a store. Nobody was wearing a mask. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to go home. I'm parking my car. I'm not leaving all weekend. I can't deal with society at this point anymore. The new Suicide Squad is out. That's all I'm doing all weekend. If you need me, that's where I'm at.
Aren't you going to watch Pig? The new Nicolas Cage movie.
I got to watch Pig.
It's his best thing ever.
I started to watch Suicide Squad last night, And I only got like 20 minutes into it because I took my pill, and that's the only it's as far as I could last. But up until that point, it was a really good movie. So
for the first minute and a half, you loved it.
It's got Margot Robbie in it.
Right.
And she dies within the first like 4 seconds of the movie.
What? Come on, spoilers.
Well, I think she comes, I don't know. She's got to come back. What's the dude from Saturday Night Live who is with all the tattoos?
Pete Davidson?
Pete Davidson. He's in it for like 4 seconds, and he walks out, and his head gets blown off.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a big waste of time for Pete Davidson. So I hope as I get farther into the movie, I hope they really, well, Pete Davidson's dead because his head's blown off, but Margot Robbie maybe comes back. I don't know.
Can you imagine they paid her all that money just to die like in the first scene? My God, what a career.
Well, she's getting pissed now because they released it on HBO Max and at the movie theater. So she's not getting the jack if it was only kind of like the Black Widow thing.
But no, see, she's wrong about that because there's a lot of people that still won't go to the movie theaters, but they will go get HBO Max and she'll make money that way because she gets a piece of it.
I know, but I think her contract was because they made this movie 3 years ago. So I think her contract was put in X amount of money off the box office.
I see. She gets points off the box office.
You can either get $3 million for this movie or we'll give you $1 million and you get 75% of the back end.
The box office, which she knows is usually in the 100 million mark.
Yeah, because Suicide Squad, it made $1 gazillion. The first movie, this movie should do well. And then it's not because they killed it from HBO Max. But so far, like I said, the first 20 minutes, not bad. Didn't hate it. We'll finish it this weekend while I watch Pig.
The first Suicide Squad made $746 million worldwide.
That's crazy. Well,
okay.
And it had Will Smith in it. This one doesn't have Will Smith.
But you can see why she wanted points on that and a percentage of that as opposed to her salary.
And it's going to make probably $40 million this
I'm sorry.
weekend.
Can this be your segment? Wah. Can we go back to that? Because Margot Robbie, I'm sorry, they only paid you $7 million. Wah.
Wah.
Wah, wah.
And she only had to work like half a day. She got to go home kind of like I did today. So she got to go home by lunch. She only did one scene, got her head blown off, went home, made $7 million. Pete Davidson made probably $3 million, got his head blown off. First scene.